Yeah, good evening, fellow gamers, or should I say, good afternoon, fellow gamers and fellow Destiny 2 fans, Destiny fans in general. Basically, the most unexpected thing happened today. I don't know if this is the man himself, but if it's not, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. As you can see from the caption, I'm talking about Mr. Fruit himself. I really don't know if this is him, and don't get mad. This is not clickbait. If you look at the name in the beginning and towards the end, you'll notice that a guy pops up and his name is Mr. Fruit 088 or 0 something of that nature. But I mean, what is the odd? What are the odds? If it is like I'm happy as hell because I've been following Mr. Fruit's channel for a long time. And yeah, it would be awesome, but that's not really everything I want to talk about. I want to talk about this beast right here, the Prometheus lens, uh, and the fact that people are still crying about it, even though Xur is now selling this same weapon. Like I'm like, uh, I don't really know where to go with it because at the end of the day, it's like okay, like RNG is a motherfucker, Excuse my language, but that's RNG. Like some people were able to get the drop, and that was fine. I ended up getting the drop on an alternate character, and then the whole time wishing that I got it on one of these characters on this account, and I'll pop up on that Friday, and what is Xur selling? But the Prometheus lens and Prometheus lens. Why am I slaying this name? But anyway, so I mean, I was extremely happy about that fact, but it kind of reminded me of the time where it was so hard to get the Gallahorn, and like for years people were trying to get the Gallahorn and crying about not being able to get the Gallahorn, and so I ended up getting the Gallahorn, and then like maybe 7 months later, I end up getting it through Xur, another one. I bought it for no reason. Like I just bought it just to buy it because it was there and I only had it on one character. So I mean that goes without saying. It was a good day, but I was just disappointed in the fact that people continue to cry about this weapon as if it's like okay, like when you go into, I mean, anybody that has played Trials this week, which I haven't, I don't have a squad right now, uh, but anybody that's playing Trials and any of the Crucible, you notice it's a straight, it's a freaking lightsaber battle. I even went in like with a few of my squad members and we just went at it with I mean, it wasn't a rank match or our private match or anything of that nature, but it was just like we went in there and we just like went in there with like cold hearts, and it just remind me like okay, I'm not a funny guy, but it kind of remind me of like the Jedi and the Sith, because the red lightsabers, and then you had us with the blue lightsabers, and that's what it was. It was just a shit show of lightsabers and blue versus red, and no gang stuff. But yeah, it was just like that type of situation, and we had fun with it. Like even before I was able to get the weapon, don't get me wrong, I got melted a few times with the Prometheus lens, but I was able to kill a lot of people that had it. Like the accuracy, if you notice when you use the code hard, uh excuse the mic, but when you use the cold hard, you feel pressure, like because it's building up. Like after a while of remaining on the target, it starts to I guess stack the damage. I'm not too sure about the perks because I only use it in certain situations, but yeah, you feel it in the weapon. But with the Prometheus lens, you feel absolutely nothing. It's just like a, it doesn't feel like it's forced. It doesn't feel like if the slight move, you're gonna move off the target, and that's what makes it so good. And the fact that it has that lingering like slight burn, and the bloom of the of when the weapon's just on you for a second, it starts to just expand in that large circle. I mean, usually you won't get that long because you're usually dead. And I understand Bungie, like there's a bug on it. In a way, I kind of think that you made it that way just to make it that way. But the simple fact that YouTubers once again want to bitch and moan about the fact that it's OP. Like you have some that are good minded and they're like, okay, yeah, it's OP, but they don't care. They make a joke out of it, and then there's some that are seriously freaking butthurt by the fact that Bungie made a weapon that's strong as hell. The Telesto. I mean, not the Telesto, but the Vex Mytha class. I never once got that freaking weapon, and I wanted it so bad, dude. And I played Volta Glass a lot of times, and let's just say that Volta Glass is not my favorite raid because it just was not my favorite raid. It was a good raid. King's the Taken King was my favorite raid, but yeah, yeah, I hate the Vex. But I mean that's besides the point. But I never got it, uh and I didn't get the what's called it the Faithbringer until like fuck, it took me forever to get that weapon. Like, and that's when it was already Destiny 1 was pretty much already over. Like, and I've been playing Destiny 1 since the beginning. Like, like come on. Like, so I mean, it's understandable, and I was one of those people that used to get melted by the Vex Mythic class, but you know what? You learn to deal with it. You're not going to win every engagement, and it's just the way it is. And it's not like you went in to the Crucible and everybody and their grandma had the Vex Mythic class. It just wasn't one of those weapons that RNG really wanted to give you. It's just like the Fatebringer. It was, I don't know, just one of those weapons that you it was a rarity, you know what I mean? That you didn't just get it just because you played the Void of Glass a lot of times. Nah, a lot of times you may get lucky and get the Fatebringer, or you'll get the Scout Rifle, or you'll get something of that nature. But the Vex Mythic class is probably, besides the Fatebringer, is one of the most elusive weapons. Oh, and the Galahorn. I mean, but people had to deal with it, and people grind it constantly. The fact that we no longer have to grind for this weapon, I mean, it is what it is. I understand Bungie probably did it because they got tired of the crying, and plus they wanted everybody to be on equal footing and to give us a chance to play with the weapon before they nerf this shit to the dirt. I mean, because that's what's coming. That's coming. They're gonna a fine tuning. No, that shit is gonna get nerfed to the dirt, and it's gonna be one of those weapons that's viable but no longer viable. It's not a go-to weapon. It's like I mean, I understand. But it just it kind of sucks because I mean, even me as a YouTuber, I don't have a major platform. I'm a uh, I won't say low level YouTuber. I'm just one of those that I really like to just enjoy playing the game and uploading and hope people like watching my gameplay. That's it. I'm not doing it to get millions and endorsements, and I'm not doing it for none of that. I'm doing it just for the sheer fact of maybe somebody might actually like my gameplay and give me kudos. That's why I'm doing it. But I mean, that's besides the point. The whole thing was about the simple fact of, is this guy fucking Mr. Fruit, man? Like, if it is, dude, I'm gonna be freaking ecstatic. Like, I watch this guy's channel because the guy is like funny as shit, dude. Him, Tash, I like Sir Demetrius. I like fucking uh man, there's a few of them. Like, there's a lot of channels, more console. There's a lot of DPJ or whatever. Like, he's cool, but he's starting to bash Destiny, and I'm a Destiny fanboy, so that doesn't fly too well or sit too well with me. But I mean, all in all, he's a good guy, and there's a lot of other YouTubers that I follow that do Destiny, Overwatch, and I mean that I'm getting outside of the point, but the whole thing was like, a lot of times YouTubers, we ruin this shit. Like, we absolutely ruin the game because in this case it worked out. Even though it's sad that we no longer have to grind for this weapon, it all worked out because before it got nerfed, Bungie at least gave you a chance to kill people with this weapon. And when you get into the Crucible, it's a freaking shit show of lightsabers. And like I said, me and my squad, we went in with the Cold Heart, so it was kind of like Jedi versus the Sith. I wish I was creative enough to actually do a video like that, but since I'm just working with the PlayStation, and I'm not too savvy when it comes to like computer stuff. I would love to do that, just oh, and if they have private matches, like, it just, I mean, I'm sure some YouTuber eventually do it, but just remember I said it first. Get in there and just straight Cold Heart versus uh the Prometheus lens, and just an all out shit show of Jedi versus the Sith Lords. And I'm sure and it would look like it because that's what it looks like right now in the Crucible, except everybody's running around with the Prometheus lens, and it's just like all you see is beams everywhere. Like, this, Bungie, you have upped your fucking game with this one. Like, this is the type of stuff that I like to see, Bungie, to get in there with these freaking weapons that are like futuristic. I mean, we got SMGs now. Good. They're not as powerful. Some of them. They got a new one called the New City that's pretty good. 900 rounds per minute. Maybe I'll do a review on that one. I'm not really one to do reviews. I just do gameplay, and tell you about it and see if you like it. But that's besides the point. But I mean, Bungie, if you could come with weapons like this, like laser type weapons, I mean, already this reminds me. Destiny always reminded me like somewhat of Star Wars. It's just the way with the warlock and his abilities and the way certain characters move. The hunter with his Sith Lord type abilities, and you know what I mean. It's just like it's things of that, like that. That's the shit that excited me with Destiny because I'm a hardcore Star Wars fan. So when I seen a game that remind me of Star Wars, and just like even though there was already Battlefront and whatever, but it you get what I'm saying. Like Destiny like really brought me back into gaming like hardcore, I was started to play a lot of fighting games, not really playing sport games, but anyway, that's beside the point. This whole video was just to ask the community, the desk community, or anybody on YouTube that might follow these channels, is this Mr. Fruit or is this just somebody with a name similar to his? Because it was just funny. Like I literally had to go back and check a few times just to make sure. And hopefully it is, man. So I can, I can knock that off the list and be like, I actually played with Mr. Fruit. But yeah, I mean, we can all wish, right? But yeah, and that's basically it, I just wish, YouTubers just get it together, man, and like stop doing hasty reviews and just like, uh, just play the game and then, let other people play it. Like I said, Bungie did us a solid this time. Kudos. They actually gave us a chance as players to play it. They gave us a weapon and allowed us to go into the Crucible and troll people, and not really troll because everybody has it. So they at least gave us a chance to play with it before it got nerfed. Because a lot of times, a lot of YouTubers will cry about certain weapons. They'll nerf it to the dirt, and then the vast majority of people that play the game don't get a chance to use a weapon just due to the fact that it's already been freaking nerfed. A lot of weapons we didn't get to use at their max power just due to the fact that people made hasty reviews. They needed to make these reviews a lot of times not to help the community and be like, oh, well, this weapon is overpowered. No, they did it because they know people are going to come to the channel and read it and, watch their content. And then that's just another video that they can knock off the list. That's all it comes down to. Because when you're a small YouTuber, that's how your priorities are a lot different. When you get to that point to where you're, this is like your bread and butter. Oh yeah, you don't care how many uh, guns and weapons and armor you gotta freaking destroy in order to make your content for that day. And some people don't. There's some YouTubers that I watch that don't do that. They don't use that type of practice. That they keep it solid, they keep an open mind, and that's just how it is. But there's other ones that it's all about the end game is the dollar, and if shitting on your game in order to make that dollar will help them get that dollar, they're gonna shit on the game. They'll shit on the weapons. They'll shit on everything because their priorities is money, and that's it. It ain't even. It's just about money. But yeah, this was somewhat. It wasn't like really a rant. It just I wanted to talk about if this was Mr. Fruit, and if it's not, like I said, I just hopefully one day I actually do get to play with the guy or MTash or one of them. The people that I've been following for a long time. But like I said, if it's not him, this is not clickbait. So hopefully I don't get no. I don't mind because I don't really get too many comments. But you can comment and tell me what you think. Uh, and basically that's pretty much gonna do it for that. I just wanted to like encourage people to hold up on their hasty reviews. But basically that's it. And you enjoy the rest of your evening. If you're not subscribed to me, subscribe, maybe drop a like, let me know what you think about this content, and if this is Mr. Fruit, please let me know. And if it's not, sorry Mr. Fruit, I was not trying to use your name. And that's basically it. uh yeah, my name is Sire the Risen, and you enjoy the rest of your evening, your weekend, and I'll catch you on the dark.
Blackie's all clear. Failsafe, you feeling any better?
Yes, thank you. As well as a ship AI can when her crew has died.
We'll always be here for you.
And who's better than us?